Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim Patterson. I'm CEO of Economy Solution Group. I'm going to move quite quickly through this, so if you want to read the slides more closely, feel free to look at them afterwards when they're distributed by the organisers. So firstly, I'd like to say sincere thanks to Mr. Anil Rasden, Chairman, and Dr. Anil Garg, President of the Energy and Environment Foundation, Mrs. Garg, all of the organising committee, Chairman Dr. Balyan, thank you, sir, and other special guests and award winners, esteemed colleagues on the dais, delegate students in the room, and those of you watching on the World Wide Web after this event at a later date, especially the impact investors. If you're looking to invest in India, you're investing in saving the world. If we don't get India off to the fastest start and get them into a leadership position with double-digit growth by 2030, then we lose the end game. It's not good. Okay, so I don't profess to be an expert in coal gasification. We have more than enough knowledge on the dais for that. However, it's time to turn off the tap, an overflowing sink. If you're just mopping the floor with an overflowing sink, that's no good. We need to do the mopping, and we need to tidy the land as we move forward. Otherwise, we're living in more and more toxicity, and people are getting sicker. And we turn off the tap, and we move forward to the clean future. Okay, so we don't have time to develop everything here in India. Impact investors are waiting with funds. There are $25 trillion going to be inherited in the next 2 generations between Generation Zs, millennials, and women of wealth. They think differently. They want to move the needle forward. There are Indian diaspora all over the world, as well as other wealthy individuals that aren't from India, who want to move the needle and change the game. Economy Solution Group's working with biorestoration partners, technology partners. We have our own technology in fuel combustion as well. And we're basically looking to fund critical R&D, and we are funding critical R&D, and we'll bring that to India. Okay, so I'm going to rattle through quick if this handset works a bit faster. Okay, so we've got a proven clean coal focus. I won't go through this in great detail, but basically we've been involved in clean coal for 12 years. We work with the Eastern Institute of Studies in Poland. They have the Central Mining Institute, which is an expert centre for coal research. And the Clean Coal Centre they have there is world-class. There's the opportunity to develop a graphene supply chain from coal that hasn't been yet discussed. It's important with gasification. It's an opportunity for green hydrogen, but there's also risks of CCUS and the cost of that and leakage. So anyone that's aware of the 20 years of carbon capture utilization and storage paper from the Clean Coal Centre at the IEA, you'll know that there wasn't a lot of success except 3 projects for EOR. Most of them made losses, and carbon capture is difficult, so we need to be careful about that. There are other opportunities to utilise CO2, fluid oscillators, securing the CO2, and potentially high temperature 7,000 degrees gasifying of the carbon and then making stratographic graphene from that. So we're investing in that area, and we think if we can get that done in the next 18 months, we can bring it to India, and we can enable India to become the largest low-cost, at-scale graphene producer on the planet. That changes the game, ladies and gentlemen, for energy storage. It changes the game for sustainable building materials and for all the horizontals that graphene applies to at low cost, which it doesn't do at the moment because it's too expensive. So industry forums, we've sponsored panels with the Polish partners in Warsaw. We'll just try and whip through these a bit quicker. We've obviously been involved in coal mining and mining trade missions all over the world. In the Mining Institute in Katowice, Central Mining Institute, they've got 20 plus pilots. The rigs are as big as a house, and they've got experimental mine in the Barbara mine. But in Zabrze, it's incredible. And we'd like to get a graphene extraction process contract with them in the coming 12 months. So world-class research here, I would say Natalie Havaniec she is an incredibly bright and sharp, intelligent and diligent and respected professor. She heads up a lot of the research. This is a gasifier. They have people send coal from all over the world, up to 200 megapascals, test pressures. Great facility. If India would like to, participate in using additional facilities such as they have, I would urge it, and we'd be happy to broker that dialogue with our friends in Warsaw. New possibilities, I won't go through this in detail, but the last one is carbon dioxide capture and utilization, which is obviously critical. They have a moving bed reactor in one of those 20-plus pilot test units in Zabrze. So this is all about gasification, of course. And then they are our global research partner of choice when it comes to clean coal. We're not going to go through any further of that except to say, if India can move to the global raw materials leader in graphene and solid-state electrostatic energy-dense batteries becomes your forte, you can store every millivolt of solar and wind. It's not use it or lose it. You can build your energy storage process. You can secure your data centers. You're going to need a lot for AI, as already has been discussed in the opening addresses. And electrostatic batteries, very low or no fire risk, would become a reality in the shipping industry. There's some great work being done with Kalinga vessels in Odisha. We had discussions with them this week over in West Bengal. And one of the most important things is the shipping needs to be curtailed, not just aviation, not just coal mining, everything needs to be curtailed, but the shipping, electrostatic batteries, we can't use lithium ion, it catches fire. Okay, so the economy of scale will transform the global EV sector, ladies and gentlemen. The EV sector will turn to the point, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow on e-mobility, but people will own their own batteries and they'll buy the car. And they'll have a multi-purpose interface, interoperable battery with huge energy densities that will cope with the power demands and energy intensity of any driveline within a certain range. Okay, the renewables energy utilization and storage we've already discussed. So we'll move off from the clean coal. The clean coal transformation, we know we need coal for a lot of things. It's been discussed at great length already today. I'm not a critic of coal. COP24, Poland, the UK government didn't want to do presentations in side events on clean coal because they wanted to move away from it. However, having dissociated from clean coal with the opening of a movement, Powering Past Coal Alliance, at COP in 2023, at COP23, they alienated themselves from the opportunity to, extract graphene from CO2 emissions from coal. And India has the biggest opportunity. Renewables are, if it doesn't work out with renewables, I think SMRs are actually the backstop, and there is a lot that needs to be done there, as we all know. So key strategies cutting carbon emissions. Yes, there's ways of changing cement and changing the way in which you use it. There's also ways of recycling demolition waste, sulfurcrete, hempcrete, biocrete from, in this case, using processed biomass from the Iconia, the water hyacinth harvesting that we could plan with EV water vessels and pyrolysis systems. We could recycle that into bioalgae fuels. Or we could make biocrete for low-cost, sustainable modular housing, single-story housing. So it's all in our hands, ladies and gentlemen. All we need to do is get on with it, understand what to do, and move quickly at scale. So transformation example in critical minerals. This has been discussed numerous times today as well. It has been mooted that India doesn't have access to many critical minerals or rare earth elements, but the latest digestion techniques using nitric acid can enable your limonite and bauxite ores to be great sources. Even the tailings can be great sources of things we need for electronics. So nickel and aluminium respectively. Obviously, I've already mentioned graphene, and we'll talk more about that in e-mobility tomorrow. But with coal as a graphene feedstock, you can add urban mining. Now, I'm an ex-civil engineer, stroke engineer and geologist, and we used to do diaphragm walls, boxes of concrete, and then build train stations and public buildings in safe places with no groundwater transmission. We can do that around waste landfills, and then we can mine those landfills. They're literally gold waiting to be found, and all the other critical minerals in the electronic e-waste that we didn't separate out in the first 10 years of this, knowing we had to do something on climate. So that's the transformation map for clean coal. I'm just making sure I'm on time. Yes. Hopefully Dr. Garg won't tell me off. I'm about 30 seconds over. I'm not going to go into any further issues on financing the transition. I'll cover that in e-mobility tomorrow, except to say that 25 trillion coming into the inheritees in impact investors in the Gen Z, millennials and women of wealth. We're looking to help educate the wealth advisory market so they can have values-based decisions and discussions with those family offices and those wealthy individuals that really want to change this world. And changing this world begins with changing India and helping them move forward for the best. Thank you very much.